Most people audit their goals the wrong way, and that's why they keep chasing things that don't actually matter to them. Here is what it looks like. You sit down to review your goals. You check off what you finished, feel guilty about what you didn't, and you promise yourself you would do better next time. Sounds familiar? This is the same audit you have done before, and it hasn't changed anything. Every time you force yourself to keep pursuing a goal that no longer fits, you spend an energy that could go towards something that actually matters. The problem is you're asking the wrong question. Not did I complete this, but does this still matter to me? There is a different way to evaluate your goals, one that actually moves you forward instead of keeping you stuck in the same cycle, and it's not about checking boxes. Most goal reviews focused on one thing: what you finished and what you didn't. They're designed for linear progress, not human growth. Check the box, move to the next, repeat. What we are really tracking: how many boxes we checked, how many tasks we finished, and numbers on a spreadsheet. None of that tells you whether the goal still fits who you are now. And the hidden cost: sometimes you're chasing goals from a past version of you. Sometimes they are brand new but still don't fit because you created them based on what you thought you should want. Either way, you're draining energy from what actually matters. You may not be the same person who set the goals when you first created them. Your values shift, your energy changes, your life circumstances change. But the linear approach doesn't account for growth, it only accounts for completion. So you end up either forcing yourself to pursue something that no longer serves you, or you beating yourself up for failing at something that you have actually outgrown. How many of your goals are you chasing because you're trying to prove something to someone else? Goals that were never really yours to begin with. Releasing a goal that doesn't fit is one of the most powerful acts of self-authority you can create. If you keep forcing them, you're not honoring your growth. You are actually resisting it, and resistance always costs energy. Linear thinking tells you that consistency is key, that you should stay the course no matter what. But life doesn't work that way. We need space to recalibrate. We need permission to say, this used to work for me, but it doesn't now. Does this sound familiar? That guilt cycle where you either beating yourself up for failing or forcing yourself to keep going even though something feels off? Please drop a comment. What goals are you still chasing that no longer feels like yours? So if checking off completed goals doesn't work, what does? The shift from completion to alignment comes down to three questions. So when you ask, did I do this? You get guilt and pressure. When you ask, does this still align who I am? You get clarity. That's the fundamental difference. These are not about productivity. They are about clarity and alignment. And once you know how to ask them, you will never audit a goal the same way again. Ready? As you read them, think about one goal you're currently pursuing. See if these questions shift how you see it. So ask yourself, does this goal reflect my current values? Sometimes we're chasing goals because we absorbed someone else's definition of success, your parents' idea of stability, what counts as success in your field, maybe your friend's idea of what good life looks like. Those are not bad things, but if they are actually not yours, pursuing them will always feel like obligation instead of desire. Take a moment. How many of your current goals came from your definition of success versus someone else's? And second, Does pursuing this goal energize me or drain me? And here's what I have learned. Your body knows the answer. Do you find yourself naturally thinking about it, or do you have to force yourself to care? Energy is one of the most honest signals we have. If a goal consistently drains you, that's worth looking at. What is exactly creating the resistance? And third, if I achieved this goal tomorrow, would it actually change how I feel about my life? Sometimes we're chasing goals because we think they will make us feel a certain way. But if we are really honest, we know the achievement won't actually give us that feeling. If you value balance, but the role demands 60 hours a week, the title won't fix that disconnect. Here is what alignment looks to me. A goal that aligns doesn't require constant motivation. It pulls you forward because it's connected to who you actually are. You don't have to convince yourself it matters. You don't have to fake enthusiasm. It just clicks, it fits. What is one thing you naturally think about without forcing yourself? What lights you up in conversation? Notice what comes up. That's what actually matters to you. Share in the comments what you discovered. Most people try to figure out if goal is worth doing without really knowing what matters to them. That's why the same misaligned goals keep showing up. You need a personal filter, a way to know if something actually fits you. And here is how to build it. Step 1. Name your non-negotiables. 3 to 5 values that define your natural state. The ones you actually live by when you are at your best. This might be things like making your own decisions without needing approval, having space to experiment and create, having meaningful, deep relationships, work that actually helps people, flexibility in how and when you work. Run each current goal through your non-negotiable filter. Does it honor at least one of your core values? And if it's not, it's a candidate to resign. A goal doesn't have to hit every value, but it should connect to at least one, or you're just chasing something that has no real root in who you are. Step 3. Notice the pattern. Which goals consistently align and which ones are always a fight? If you are constantly forcing yourself towards something, that's probably not a discipline issue. It's resistance, and resistance usually means something is off. I have learned to realize that some goals are not wrong, they're just not for right now. Your life season, your available energy, all of that affects what's actually possible for you in this moment. And a goal that would be perfect in 2 years might be completely unsustainable for right now. I check in on mine every few months just because I'm a person and people change. What do you do with goals that don't fit? If it no longer serves who you are now, you may just completely let it go. But if it still matters and the timing is off, you may put it on hold until your energy shifts. Here's what I have noticed about alignment. When your goals actually fit who you are, you stop forcing yourself forward. You stop second guessing and stop performing. Instead, the things you're working towards just feels like yours. Notice how that feels different. Not perfect and maybe not easy, but just right. Remember that goal audit from the beginning? The one where you checked off what you have finished, felt guilty about what you didn't, and you promised yourself you would do better next time? That audit kept you stuck because it was asking the wrong question. Now you have a different way. Instead of, did I complete this? Ask, does this still matter to me? And instead of tracking boxes, check for your alignment. Pick one goal you're working on right now. Ask yourself these three questions. Does this reflect my current values? Does it energize me or drain me? If I achieved it tomorrow, would I actually change how I feel? Notice what comes up. The goal might still fit and just need a different approach, or you have been forcing something that stopped mattering months ago. Either way, you're not stuck in that guilt cycle anymore. That's the shift from obligation to alignment. And if you want to go deeper and actually build that personal filter, I have got a video on creating your personal values filter, and I'll drop the link below. I'll see you in the next video.